It's a beautiful spring morning. Marjorie is a successful city prosecutor, a healthy and robust legal advocate, weaved into the city life complete with politics, expectations, and controversy. Today, the judge has requested a private conference. The courtroom is across town, so she has chosen to walk this familiar route. As she's walking, she walks past her favorite cafe. A familiar face shines a happy smile her way. But Marjorie notices the feelings are mutual. She continues walking, but has to stop near the brick wall. She's out of breath. It begins to hit her. Her belly starts to churn like an ice cream machine. Abdomen tightens. The buildings start to fall in around her. It all starts to fall apart. The case, the folder inside the briefcase in her hand. She puts her hand to her mouth in disbelief. She can't breathe. Her hand is shaking. The doomed case, damn it, she thought as she tried to gather herself. Why was it affecting her so? She struggles on the wall and manages to straighten up without dropping anything. Another deep breath and Marjorie's pulled herself back together. Okay, she lamented to herself, so it's a little shady. Thoughts of maybe echoed through her mind. Maybe she was a little rough on the attorney and the plaintiff. She continued to build a case in her mind. There was nothing to worry about. The media had her back. After all, people liked cops. No one questioned the police officer. There was no witnesses. And we're welcome to our opinion, right? I'm not worried, she laughed as her stride turned into a feverish lunge. Marjorie's trek towards the courthouse continued like a marathon. I'll be there in 3 minutes at this pace, she said to herself. She could feel her triathlon leg muscles begin to warm. I can't be late. If you're late, you won't be confident, she asserted to herself. A few beads of sweat forms on the temple of her forehead. Can I dart into the cafe before 9 a.m.? She tried to convince herself there was more time. She continued the path. The large cement pavers that led up to the federal building seemed to grow in size as her stride became less assured strut. The security entrance went smooth. But why did the guard have to ask about Lacey? She regretted. Lacey is the 2-year-old miniature terrier pet that Marjorie's daughter Chelsea inherited from her nana. Now, all I have to do is make it to the elevators, she sighed. But then, as if there wasn't another obstacle to hurdle on the way to the judge, the magistrate, Bradley Wilkins, walks up to the elevator. What was he doing here? He works the South Bay cases now. Marjorie, here to see the judge? He questioned audibly, issuing a soft, friendly gesture on her shoulder. His huge lungs and tall frame reverberated inside the elevator. He was fouling up her concentration, she joked to herself. She didn't want to answer. She didn't want to answer because she believed he already knew the answer. Like you didn't know, her conscience delivered back. I heard the judge isn't feeling well, he cautioned. It's going around, she managed to convey. He carefully corrected her. No, he said sternly. He's not sick. He's not feeling well about something. His eyes looked away in defeat. Marjorie turned into the corridor and made her way to the court chambers. She suddenly felt all alone. 8 years of service, and this was the first time she felt uneasy before a hearing. I know what he's going to ask, she whispered to herself nervously. Arriving at the podium, everything hit home. Something felt wrong. Everything was different. Looking around, she wondered where the bailiff was. The judge swiftly came into the light, the senior judge appearing full of purpose and intent. not towering like the magistrate, but tall in power and experience, his long dark robe flowing in his wake, graceful and momentary. I know what he's going to ask, she exhales quietly to herself. Thank you, counsel. The judge spoke firmly, looking directly at Marjorie, back and forth at the documents in front of him and at Marjorie. My pleasure, Your Honor. Shut the hell up, Marjorie said to herself. Her experience started to kick in. Deny. I don't know. I don't remember. Bailiff, the judge exclaimed. The bailiff appeared from the door. He was conducting official business, his face appearing energized and happy with a hint of knowledge. He hands the charcoal gray folder over to the judge and takes his place near the card podium. The judge looked over the contents of the folder briefly as if to verify and closed it. Hand this to the prosecutor, the judge said quietly. Marjorie glared at the bailiff and accepted the folder reluctantly. She accessed the contents. Her quick wit served her well in the past. She wished she wasn't so sharp now, because she recognized what she was reading instantly. Her eyes widened as she began to look up at the judge. I know what he's going to ask, she whispered to herself one more time. The judge snarled at her with deep concern in his eyes and said, Where is the damned dog?